G'day, Rick here again, and as an avid Obsidian user, I have the application open on my desktop all day, every day. It's constantly being used for note-taking, constantly used for editing. I write articles using the program, I write other notes and annotate PDFs with it. So imagine my delight when I discovered that there's a new plugin called OpenGate. And it enables the direct opening of websites within Obsidian rather than flipping back and forth between windows. So this can be a great way of embedding a website into a note or opening a site in the left, the right or the center columns of Obsidian. Now the problem is that often we are using multiple programs to take notes with Obsidian, and you'll have a browser open on one page and possibly be copying and pasting information to Obsidian, where you will then comment on it and refine your thoughts. Now this is a frustrating workflow and a very slow one at that. Of course there are workarounds such as Readwise, but not everyone subscribes to such read later applications. If you're working on a desktop, even with two screens, you're still doing a lot of copying and pasting, going back and forth from screen to screen. And if you're working on a laptop or with a single screen, you're always swapping back and forth with Alt-Tab or whatever it is to shift your focus on your windows between the ones that you want and the one that you want to paste or copy into Obsidian. So this has the effect of slowing down your workflow quite considerably when creating and organising notes from multiple sources. So let's have a look at OpenGate as a solution. So OpenGate works by adding what are known as gates. It allows you to open web pages inside Obsidian. Now this eliminates the need to navigate away from the app, and OpenGate is simply a community plugin for Obsidian and available through the community plugins area. So simply search for OpenGate, install and enable the plugin. So let's have a look and do that now, shall we? So you'll go down to your settings, to community plugins, to browse. In the top here we'll search for OpenGate, and there it is coming up there. You can see that I've got it installed already. I'll click on that anyway, and that will bring up the information about the plugin. Normally you would enable it from here, but this is already enabled, so you can go to the options. So there's a fair bit of information here on what you can do with the plugin, what features it has, and also you'll see down here, which we'll go in and cover a bit later, about how you can use code blocks within Obsidian as well to activate OpenGate. So now it's time to set up some gates to some web pages. So using my Obsidian Vault as an example, you can see in the image on screen that I have set up a few gates which are for Audio Pen, which is a speech-to-text AI tool I use for recording notes. I've also linked access to my Google Mail account, and then I also have one to ClickUp, which is a project management software that I use for detailed projects. So to install a new gate, you simply go to the options area here, click on New Gate, and then it will ask you for the URL that you wish to open. TP, let's open just Google Australia, and we'll call it Google. The icon, it will find the icon itself in most instances, and it'll be the favicon that's used for the website. So don't worry about that, I'd just leave that as it is. Pin to the menu, the menu of the icon will be put into the left ribbon on the left hand side of Obsidian, which is a very handy thing. You can open it straight away from there. Advanced options, not necessarily anything to worry about. The one worth mentioning is probably this zoom factor. Now I did install Zotero previously when I was testing this out, but I found it came in very small and wasn't serviceable either. By adjusting this to 1.25 or 1.5, it actually boosted the text size, but Zotero wouldn't work within this situation, so I have deleted it. So now that that's as it's all done, we can just put create new gate. You'll see it's got it Google there, and over here down the bottom, and this is one little annoying aspect I did find about the program of the plugin, is that it inserts the icon here to open it with, but then once it's used, it shifts them up the top. So the three others are up there. So if I close that there now, and this is the other thing you need to do as well, if the tab isn't pinned, you will need to open a new tab before clicking on the link. Then click it on the link. Oh, I forgot where we're going to open this. Oh, it's open here in the side, which may not matter, of course, but we better shift that. So we'll close this here. So that's gone. Put our calendar back in there. Go back down to our settings, our gates, Google, edit, position. I didn't mention this before actually. It's where you want the banner to show. So you have the option of the left, in the left column here, in the right, which you just saw with the Google one, or in the center. So we'll open it in the center. Update the gate, and you have to restart Obsidian in order to do that. So we'll just go over here to here and the view and force a reload. So Obsidian reloads, and as you can see, that icon has shifted up the top as I mentioned it would once it had been used. So if we click on it again now we're seeing Google load in the center column in the note. So if we just go here and just to test, there it is. Straight away you've got Google working inside of your Obsidian Vault or any other program that you might happen to choose. Now I hope you noticed that when I had the Vault open before, it was showing my home note and I didn't open a new tab. So when Google opened, it opened straight over the top of the home note. So this is what I said, remember, you need to pin your notes, because when you click on one of these gates, it's going to open it over the top of the note that's active, or it'll open it to a new one if the note's tabbed. So with this one here, even with Google open, we'll pin that so that it can't be written over, and go to the ClickUp gate, call ClickUp, and you'll see that it's gone over to the next tab on the right and is opening there. So, and there's ClickUp that is ready to be used within Obsidian. Saves me going out to another program. So what else can this marvelous little plugin do? Well, let's have a look at some of the other options. If we go to the plugin, community plugins, open gate, and down here you'll come across this heading called use code block. So you can use a code block to embed a website into Obsidian. And it's a bit like a data view command really. You can see it's got the 3 back commas there, and with gate to tell the Obsidian what it is. The next line is the URL of the website to be embedded, and then the height, you can set the height in pixels as to how large a display it will be in the Obsidian page. So let's have a look how that's done, because I have actually done it on my home note, and you'll see it here that I have my emails included here. And this all works, you know, it's all done. I can go to starred, I can go to my spam folder or whatever, and I can also pull up my calendar, right, and my tasks or contacts all there. Contacts aren't there, create new ones or whatever. So the good thing, the only thing I will mention here is that if you do pull up your calendar and you go to expand it onto a new page, it's not going to open a new page in Obsidian, it will actually open it in your browser. So just so you're aware of that. But anyway, apart from that, that's all there. So if somebody says I want an email or whatever, or I've just sent you an email, I can check very quickly, or I can compose one within Obsidian, which is very handy. Mind you, it's not a good example sometimes, because having email can be a distraction, and have an impact on your productivity. But I just wanted to use that as an example of how it could be done. So I thought I'd better just show you that code here in my home note so that you can see where it goes in. So I'll take the home note out of reading mode and into live preview. If I go down here and click on the little icons here in the top right of the Google page, it will then bring up the code, and you can see there that's where it's inserted. The gate, that's the name of the URL which has been put in through the gate, and the height of the Google page. Let's make it 800. Whoops. And see what happens now. And you can see that it's a lot bigger. So that's how you can control the size of the preview window, and certainly how you get that into your note, Embed website in your note. Well, that's about it for OpenGate. I think it's a fantastic little plugin. Really impressed with it. In my opinion, it's just going to really improve the speed in my workflows, and I don't have to leave Obsidian, and over time I certainly intend to add more gates where they're going to be of benefit to me, and probably as notes, and add them as bookmarks in Obsidian for speed of access. They won't have to be opened all the time. So I think you'll find that OpenGate will enhance both your workflow and your note-making experience, and I'd love to hear of your experience in the comments. So until next time, cheers.